From rock ballads rumored to be government propaganda, to artists who supposedly came back from the dead with new faces, to pop icons accused of seeing the future, this is every wild music conspiracy fans can't stop digging into. And some of them are so strange, you'll start questioning what you've really been hearing all these years. Like this theory that refuses to quit, partly because the evidence folder's thicker than it should be. According to the internet, the real Slim Shady vanished around 2006. Some say he died. Others say he retired. In reality, the man we see today isn't Marshall Mathers, but a lab-grown imitation built to keep the money flowing. Fans point to everything. His face changing shape, his voice dropping into a flatter, almost robotic cadence, his personality smoothing out, the sudden shift in lyrical style, his disappearance from the public eye for years, and then his reemergence looking off, like a reboot with corrupted files. And then there's the glitch videos, clips where he freezes mid-interview, eyes vacant, as if someone unplugged the puppet mid-sentence. Theories say he's a clone, a body double, a manufactured replacement controlled by the industry he once rapped about exposing. Skeptics roll their eyes. People age, they say. People change. Trauma rewires a man. But the conspiracy persists because the timeline's clean, the transformation dramatic, and the industry, well, it's built on illusions. A performer disappearing and returning different, that's not proof of cloning, but it's exactly how a clone story would look. They say music can change the world. Cute idea. But wind of change? That wasn't inspiration. That was strategy. At least, that's what the file on my desk keeps whispering. The story goes like this. While the Cold War was wobbling on its last legs, the CIA needed a spark. Not a bomb, not a bullet, a ballad. Something that could slip past checkpoints and straight into the heads of a generation raised behind concrete walls. Enter the Scorpions, a German rock band with a frontman who almost never wrote full songs on his own. And then suddenly, he delivers a poetic anthem predicting the fall of the Soviet Union before anyone dared to say it out loud. A song that spreads like wildfire. A song that feels engineered. The conspiracy says the CIA wrote it and handed it off to the band like a diplomatic package. A psy-op disguised as a power ballad. The skeptics laugh, of course. But the timing is perfect, too perfect. And every time the wind shifts in that melody, it feels less like music and more like a message. Now this next case, this one rattles people. It starts in 2003 when Avril Lavigne, the punk princess of an entire MTV generation, supposedly died. Not metaphorically, or even artistically, where she just tanked her career, but literally. And according to conspiracy theorists, the record label did the only reasonable thing. They swapped her with a lookalike named Melissa Vendola. Sounds ridiculous. Till you start pulling the threads. Her face shape changes. Her handwriting changes. Her voice shifts tone. She goes from anti-pop rebel to bubblegum gloss almost overnight. Fans point to lyrics that read like confessions, and music videos sprinkled with hints, clues Melissa supposedly left behind. Even her moles don't match. Trust me, I checked the photos myself twice. Yeah, blah, 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 people change, but I know a guy who's adamant she was replaced. Now, every time Avril steps on stage looking slightly different, the internet revives the same question. Are we watching the girl who wrote Complicated, or the stand-in who inherited her spotlight? Some conspiracies feel mean-spirited. This one feels unsettling. Because if there's one celebrity the world agrees on, it's Stevie Wonder, a musical titan, a cultural treasure, and according to every official record, blind since birth. Case closed, right? Not if you follow the footage. I started digging after hearing a story from a stagehand who swore Stevie once caught a fallen microphone mid-air. Not stumbled into it, caught it. Then I found clips of him navigating crowded rooms with no hesitation, pressing elevator buttons without being told which ones were where, even reacting to things happening outside his supposed field of perception. Confidence? Reflex? Some weird daredevil superpower? Maybe. That's what the skeptics cling to. But when you listen to the celebrities who've worked with him, the ones who whisper that he sees more than he lets on, the theory grows legs. Or, eyes. Some say he kept a blindness narrative because it protected his brand. Others say it gave him privacy in a world that chews musicians apart. I'm not claiming the man faked anything, but every time he moves with the confidence of someone watching the room, another feather on my neck stands straight up. Okay, on this next one, we're taking things right back. This file's old, older than most conspiracies online, but it refuses to die. In October 1966, Paul McCartney allegedly crashes his car, dies instantly, and the Beatles' empire quietly replaces him with a lookalike named William Shears Campbell. The official story is this never happened, but when you follow the breadcrumbs fans collected over decades, and I love breadcrumbs, the picture gets fuzzy. Album covers showing symbolic funerals, lyrics referencing the one who's gone. Hidden messages when songs are played backward. Photographs where Paul's height, hairline, even the shape of his ears seem wrong. The Beatles joke about it, sure, publicly, loudly, but humor has always been Hollywood's favorite cover, and the sudden shift in Paul's songwriting style, from poppy love tunes to philosophical epics, only fueled the fire. Skeptics call it pareidolia, seeing patterns that aren't there, but coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. Even pigeons know that's too many breadcrumbs in one place, and every time someone pulls up that Abbey Road cover, the funeral procession imagery, Paul barefoot, out of step, holding a cigarette in the wrong hand, I feel the same cold draft across my wings. Not proof, but it's not nothing. Some conspiracies feel stitched together. This one feels carved in stone. It starts in 1972, with David Bowie standing on a London street for the Ziggy Stardust album cover. Above his head, a sign that reads K West, the name of a furrier shop, supposedly unrelated to anything cosmic or prophetic. Bowie later claimed it meant nothing. Just a coincidence. Just the universe playing decor. But then, 33 years later, Kanye West is born. Almost exactly 5 years after Bowie sings, 5 years, that's all we've got. Fans do the math. They draw the lines, and suddenly that K West sign doesn't look like a storefront anymore. It looks like a prediction. Then, Bowie dies in 2016. 2 days after releasing Black Star, an album dripping with themes of passing torches, artistic rebirth, and legacy. And who appears at that moment as the loudest, brightest cultural force alive? Kanye, the man who once called himself a god. The man who said Bowie was one of his greatest inspirations. The man whose rise mirrors the kind of myth Bowie spent his life crafting. Coincidence? Prophecy? Or just two stars orbiting the same strange gravity? When patterns line up this neatly, kid, I don't ignore them. Now, some conspiracies come from scholars, whistleblowers, insiders. And then there's this one, a theory born from the wildest corners of the internet. And don't let that fool you. Even the ridiculous ones deserve a place in the evidence folder, because sometimes nonsense hides a strange kind of pattern. The claim is simple. Rebecca Black's 2011 viral headache Friday isn't just a teenage anthem about the weekend. It's a coded retelling of the JFK assassination. Stay with me. The guy who told me this one made complete sense after his fourth beer. Conspiracy theorists point out the lyrics casually reference seating positions, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, claiming it mirrors the arrangement inside Kennedy's limousine. They point to shots fired as getting down on Friday. They even pull meaning from cereal bowls in the video, insisting they symbolize the breakfast meeting Kennedy attended that morning. Absurd? Of course. The reality? A teenager wrote a goofy song about weekends. But conspiracies don't survive because they're true. They survive because people love puzzles, especially ones with no solution. I should stop before someone starts asking how I got these files in the first place. Singers are one thing. Messy, loud, easy to follow. But Disney World? That place hides its secrets under polished smiles and perfect fireworks. If you think the music industry is strange, wait till you see what happens behind the castle gates.